in an easy seat this morning. Grab down under the sits bones, legs come in, crossed however you'd like them to. Maybe taking a cushion or something underneath the butt to kind of rotate the pelvis out and up. That can sometimes give a little bit more support in a seat here.
You're playful this morning.
And we're going to start. I usually use this book at the beginning of my classes, especially when I was in studios, but it got lost in the move and I found it in the garage the other day. So we're going to read today. It has a little meditation for each day. And so we're going to start today's practice with today's meditation. So we'll close our eyes, find a straight back, shoulders stacked over the hips. I want you to settle somewhere where your body is just stacked on itself. You're not doing a whole lot to hold it up. Hands are resting in the lap or on the knees. Start to link to the breath. Acknowledge the breath and maybe slow the breath. Today's reading is titled Reflex or Response. The quote reads, "I did not survive to be untouched." The emotional patterns of our lives are very strong. They often come into being because we've needed them to survive. But sooner or later, we all arrive at moments where the very thing that has saved us is killing us, keeping us from truly living. Being invisible once kept us from being hurt, but now we are vanishing. Or listening once kept us in relation, but now we are drowning in our unheard cries. Our avoiding conflict once kept us out of the line of fire, but now we are thirsting for contact that is real. Early in my life, I learned to protect myself, and this meant that I became very good at catching things. In fact, I never went anywhere without my catcher's mitt. No matter what came at me, nothing could surprise me. And while this saved me from the unpredictable assaults of my family and even helped me in my odyssey through cancer, it eventually had a life of its own. Everything, birds, women, friends, truth, was intercepted by the quick reflex of my mitt. Eventually, nothing got through, and the very thing that helped me survive was now keeping me from being touched. The softness and wonder of the world was vanishing from my life. But I did not survive to live at a distance from things, and so I began the long and painful process of putting my mitt down, of regaining choice about when and how to protect myself. I began to realize that letting life in was a deeper way to survive. In doing this work, I began to experience an amazingly thin lining of breath, which I believe is in us all. Beneath it lives our impulse of heart, our true and genuine response to all that we encounter. Above it lives the reflex of our emotional survival, the quick twitch of our patterning. It seems our ability to be authentic and free can't touch us until we breathe our way below the twitch of our patterning. Often, this requires outlasting the anxiety of needing to catch or fix what comes our way, so we can truly respond from the center of our being. There is, after all, a difference between helping someone because if you don't, you will lose their love or some sense of your own image as a caring person, and helping someone because your heart moves you to their aid. We are, each of us, in a repeatable war between defending ourselves from hurts that happened long ago and opening in innocence again and again to the unexpected touch of life. So there's a little guided meditation off of that. We'll spend 2 to 3 minutes on it before we come into movement. We'll be setting the tone, the mindset for our practice this morning. So we already are, but continue to sit quietly until you slowly find your way to that thin lining of breath that surrounds your heart. Allow into your awareness one current pressure you are feeling from a loved one. From that thin lining of breath in and out, try on the different ways you can respond. What response has helped you survive in the past? What response will help you live more fully now? Which feels more life-giving? Sit with those questions, breathing in and breathing out. Maybe feeling the breath deepen, lengthening inhales a little bit longer, lengthening the exhales a little bit longer. On your next inhale, we'll start to incorporate gentle movement moving into our practice. So on the inhale, pull the shoulders up towards the ears, shortening the neck, scrunching as high as you can, inhaling as deep as you can. Then exhale, slowly elevate the shoulders down towards the hips, maybe beyond where they rested before, pulling them down as far as you can away from the ears, as deep as you can exhale. Inhale, pull them up towards the ears, shorten the neck, stay long in the spine, don't round in the back. Keep the spine long, just pull the shoulders up as deep as your inhale, then exhale, pull them down as deep as your exhale. Inhale one more time, pull the shoulders up, and exhale, pull them down. Letting them rest, coming back to where we started. We'll reach those hands out, maybe flutter the eyes open or keep them closed, totally up to you. Our fingertips are reaching out to the mat by our sides. So our fingertips are tented, shoulders reaching down. We're taking them as far out as we need to just tent the fingertips on the mat. So we should feel a stretch down the forearms, the shoulders, the sides of the neck even. And I want you to pull this left arm up as if you're coming straight in line with the right down on the mat. And then kind of just pull that torso over to that left side. So I'm creating a little bit of a curve in my right abdomen. It's very subtle. It should enhance that stretch all along the right arm a little bit. And pull the torso back in. Drop that left hand to the outside of the head on the right side and pull the head away. Getting even more of a stretch, this time in the neck area. Drop that shoulder towards the hip. Then inhale, bring that left arm up. and around. Take the head back up through center. Moving gently, as if we're moving through honey. Everything's super duper smooth. So pull those fingertips again down towards the mat. Reach the right arm up, this time diagonal from the left. Everything should look like a straight line right through the shoulders. And I want you to pull that torso over to the right side. Kind of creating, it's almost like we're taking a cat. This left side of the body is pulling towards the right. Getting an arch in that left side. And pull it back through center, drop that right hand to the outside of the head and pull it open. That left shoulder dropping even more. Keep reaching those fingertips out. Getting a stretch in the side of the neck. Good, release that hand from the head. Inhale it up and around, gently bringing it down, head up. Reach those arms out with energy, reach them up. Hands to heart center in prayer, exhale. Close the eyes and just kind of roll out the shoulders here. So we're taking some forward circles, pulling them forward, up and back. And then when you're in a good place, switch directions, pulling them forward, down, and back. Changing that direction. You're going to bring them back to neutral, rock over those knees. Come into our table. Those feet behind you, knees beneath the shins, or knees beneath the shins, that makes sense. Knees beneath the hips, hands beneath the shoulders. Let's align our hands here. So we're gonna measure for shoulder width distance by bringing the fingertips in towards each other. Palms of the hands are at the widest. Palms of the hands are right beneath the shoulders. Then press the palms of the hands into the mat and just spin the fingertips forward. So we're not moving the palms, we're just spinning the fingertips forward. That's your shoulder width distance. That's how we measure it. So from here, we're going to tuck the toes. We're going to pull the hips slightly back, arch the back, and pull it into a cat. So we're getting a little bit of extra length by pulling those hips back towards the heels while we come into our cat. Chin to chest. Then I want you to pull forward, untuck the toes, chest pulls forward, weight comes a little forward of the hands, and the gaze lifts gently. Belly pressing down, tailbone lifting. Then come back, tuck the toes again. Hips pulling back towards the heels, slightly come into that cat. Chin to the chest, belly button to spine. Spine reaching for the ceiling. Then shift forward, gaze forward, heart center forward, tailbone lifts. Belly drops, and the weight is just a little bit further forward than usual here. We're going to take one more. Take your cat, pull it back, tuck the toes. Pull the spine towards the ceiling, chin to the chest. Then inhale. Weight forward and tuck the toes, tailbone lifts, belly drops, gaze and heart center forward and up. And we're going to just drop those hips back. Make sure that those knees are closer together rather than wider. We're going to take a child's pose here for that low back. So when we take the knees wide in our child's pose, we get a child's pose for the hips. But bring those knees together, then bring the hips back into our child's pose, resting down. The abdomen on the thighs. Getting an opening all in the back here. So imagine your back resting on the thighs like a blanket rests on our lap. The blanket falls to the left and right of our lap. Gravity pulls it as much as it can to rest on our mat or rest on our lap. So the same idea here, the torso is resting over those thighs like a blanket. Imagine the left and right sides of our torso melting wider and deeper over the thighs. Every inhale, fluffing that blanket, bringing it a little bit more space, and then exhale, drape it a little bit wider over the legs. That helps us imagine the expansion of the low back, getting an opening there. If the head isn't down, and you're holding it and resisting that surrender, let it go. Bring the forehead to the mat. Rock the forehead left and right for a little self-massage here on the third eye, the sinuses, the forehead area. We'll take the hands, reach them long again towards the top of the mat if they're just kind of gone limp. We're going to reach the left hand over to the outside of the left mat, pull the right hand to the top of the left hand, reach those hips back and towards the hips. So make sure that they're towards the heels, make sure that they're not coming off of the heels. You want them pulling straight back on the heels still. And reach those hands up and over to the left side. So you're getting a stretch in the right side body here. If you can, let the head drop again once you settle. And from here, I want you to press those hips up, kind of into our table position. So the hips are going to stack over the knees. We're still pulling those hips back towards the heels. So imagine arching through the back as if we're taking a cat back, pulling those hips back, but we're just stacking the hips over the knees. So you should feel this in the right back, the low back, your QL, and all along the right side body. Should feel very, very good. Then pull those hips back down, come back to our child's pose, off to the side, pull those hands through center, and walk it over to the right side. So the right hand comes off of the mat, the left hand stacks on top of it, pull as far over to the side as you need to feel that stretch ignite in the left side body. Pull the hips back towards the heels. Maybe let the head drop. Now again, we're going to take that same variation. So all we're doing is floating those hips over the knees. Keep that rounding in the back like we would in a cat position. Pull those hips back and to the left. So as if we're pulling those hips back towards the heels, even though they're separated. Getting that stretch in the left side body, the left QL. That one's a hard one to get to, but it feels really good when we can find it. Then come back, hips towards the heels, walk those hands forward. Back into our neutral child's pose. Take that cat pack again, but coming through center this time. So we're rippling vertebrae by vertebrae, pressing the spine towards the ceiling, chin to the chest, and then release, coming into a neutral table here. So we're going to lift this left arm up, elbow reaching towards the sky. Make sure that you're twisting from your abdomen, your torso, rather than your hips. So you want your hips to stay pretty parallel with the mat here. So reach either that left elbow or the left hand, whatever feels more accessible. And we're going to reach that left hand underneath the right, pull over to the right side. We're not going to drop the shoulder quite yet. I want you to keep activation in the tummy, keep that left arm lifted, but we're reaching as far over to the right side as we can. Reach, reach, reach underneath that right arm. And then pull it open again, reach that left arm towards the sky. Then float that left arm beneath the right arm, reaching over to the right side as far as you can. Pulling with the abdomen as far over. And then inhale up. We'll take one more like that, as if you have a ball in that left hand. You don't want it to fall. You're holding it up. Reach it over underneath that right arm. Reach as far as you can. And then drop that left shoulder, the left side of the head, all the way to the mat, coming into our threaded needle. So my hips are stacked right over my heels. My left arm is reaching over to that right side. This right arm can come to the top of the mat. Or it can bind around to the left hip. Whatever suits your fancy here this morning, whatever feels the best in your body. The line of energy in this position is inhaling length through the spine, even though we're in this funky position, continuing to find length there. And exhaling, twisting a little further over to the right side. So this is a twist. So rather than just laying here with our face against the mat, wondering what the heck we're doing, that's the line of energy this breath, the breath is bringing us in here. It's a twist. Before we leave here, we're going to plant that right palm down into the mat, really solid. Press the hand down and then tuck the right toes. We're not going to do this with both legs, but tuck the right toes. Keep the left foot down, left shin solid and down. But try to straighten even a little bit into that right knee. Imagine bringing that right leg all the way straight, maybe kicking the right leg a little further back so you can straighten it if you don't have the flexibility in the hamstring. I had to kick mine back. It was a little too close. Playing with this funky threaded needle position. Maybe even getting a stretch in the back of that right calf. And bring that right knee back down to the mat. Bring the right hand back beneath the shoulder. Press into that right hand. Keep the abdomen strong and activated as we pull the left arm up towards the ceiling. And wrap it around to our right low back or right hip. We're taking an opening in the opposite direction now. Opening that left shoulder to the left side. Taking a counter. And then bring that left arm up, stack it over the shoulders, bring it down. Readjust, come to that neutral table, maybe move side to side. You're gonna tuck the toes, press the hips back towards the heels as if we're gonna come to a child's pose. But instead of coming to a child's pose, start to hover those knees and hips up and back into our first down dog. This is our first down dog, so be gentle, bend those knees more than you might need. Imagine someone pressing the tummy back towards the thighs. Bend your knees to create as much length through the hands, up to the hip as you can. Take a couple breaths here. Just gonna come. So both of you bend your knees a little bit more. Yep, press the shoulders back towards the knees and the hips go up. Perfect. So feel how that kind of lengthens through the torso. There's less of an arch or curve towards the shoulders. There's less weight in the hands. You pull those hips back and up. That looks awesome. By the way, your down dogs have come such a long way and I'm so proud of you since March.
Encourage me.
Okay, so from our down dog, we're gonna lower those knees back down, ripple forward, bringing the weight into the hands, come high on the toes. Let the knees come down, maybe enjoying a toe stretch along the way, and untuck the toes. We're gonna take that same sequence on the other side. So we're gonna lift this right arm up, stacked. Imagine holding a ball of energy, a ball of spaghetti, a ball of ice cream, whatever it is, in that right hand. Then reach that right arm underneath the left, pull it over to the left side as far as you can. Then inhale, up. Restack that right arm over the left. Pull it underneath the left arm, reach to the left as far as you can. And inhale back up. And exhale, pull over to that left side. Use the ribs closing off on the front of the body to activate the abdomen and pull you even further. Then let the right shoulder come down, the right ear come down. And that left hand is gonna settle wherever you'd like it to. So it can stay here, tented beneath the left elbow, can reach forward, can reach around to that right hip. Whatever is going to feel best for you. Remember that this is a twist. So with every inhale, we lengthen through the crown of the head. Like I'm always saying, imagine a string through the crown of the head, pulling the spine long. Then exhale, twisting a little bit more to the left side. Wherever that left hand is, bring it extended to the top of that mat. Ground down underneath the left hand, really press into it firmly to get a strong kickstand here. Then tuck the left toes and maybe straighten into that left leg, getting a calf stretch in the back of that left leg. Notice that the hips kind of opened up to the left side. Try to pull them back so that they're equal with the mat. All that happened in this position is our left leg straightened. Nothing else should have adjusted. Good, then we'll lower that left knee. Bring that left hand back beneath the shoulder, press into the hand to press that torso up, untwist, right arm stacks over the left. Cross that right hand behind your back, reaching over to the left hip. As if someone is pulling that right shoulder up and to the right. It's getting an opening in the front of that shoulder. Remember to breathe. Don't hold that breath. Then release that right arm, bring it stack over the left one more time and bring it down. Right hand meets the left. Adjust, kind of move side to side. Make sure those hands are comfortable where they are. Tuck the toes, press the hips back towards the heels. And guide those hips back and up into our down dog. In our down dog, really let that head release. We don't want to be holding the head. Shake it yes, shake it no to make sure that you're not holding on there. We'll walk out the dog, patting the left foot down and the right foot down. One at a time. And on our next inhale, we'll lift that left leg back and up behind us. We're going to tuck that left knee in towards the chest, towards the chin, towards the nose. Shift the weight over the hands and then press that left leg back and up, getting some activation in the abdomen here. So pull that left heel, that left foot back and up. Then tuck that knee in again. Pull it forward to the chest, the chin, the nose. Then come it back up, left leg behind you. And last time, pull that left knee in towards the chest, the chin, the nose, Then gently step that left foot forward, really using the abdomen and hip flexor there. If you have to heel toe the foot forward, that's okay too. So once we're in our low lunge, we're kind of settling here with gravity, letting the left knee stack over the left ankle, right toes stack right beneath the right heel, and we're going to lower that right knee and rise, hands to our left knee. So I really like this variation because it encourages us to pull that left knee forward and down rather than just lifting the arms and feeling like we're falling straight down. Taking our hands to the knee really encourages that movement forward and down. So press into that left heel to activate the left butt. Finding stability here. Those toes in the back can be tucked or untucked, whatever is comfortable. And from here, we're going to keep that right hand on the left knee. Then open up the left arm to the left side. So it's if we're kind of twisting against a wall here to our left side. Imagine bringing that left hand right out from the left shoulder. And then pull it back. The left hand to the left knee. Same thing, but the right side. Right hand pulling back, stacking right over that right leg, as if that chest is going to come against a wall. We're going to take that same thing. This time the right hand comes down to the knee, left arm opens, and then once we're there, I want you to lift that right arm coming into a full T-twist. So the abdomen is doing all the twist work here. And then bring the right hand down, left hand down, twist that right arm back, then lift that left arm. Again, strong, active T-twist here. Abdomen is doing the work by knitting the ribs together, pulling them together on the front body. You can get a bit more activation happening. Bring those hands back through center. One more variation like this. We're going to take those hands out into the T-twist, left hand, right hand, and just kind of bow back with that right arm reaching up and back. Maybe that left hand finds the leg, pulling back. So baby back bend. Then reach the arms back to a T. Right hand down, left hand down. Right arm back, left arm forward. And drop that right hand. Reach the left arm back and up. Maybe the right hand finds the leg. And come back to our T-twist. Left hand, right hand. Then come to frame that left leg. That was a lot in the hips and the torso. So we're going to press those hips back towards that right heel. Get a straightening in that left leg. Pull the left toes towards the left hip. Half split. Make sure that we're not just resting passively here, letting the muscles pull, but we're activating the counter muscles. So the hamstring is what we're stretching. While we're stretching it, we're actually activating that quadricep to counter the stretch and to protect overstretching. So make sure you're not just resting here with the leg completely limp. You want to make sure that that one is activated. And we'll pull back forward, taking this vinyasa with our inhale, chest forward, and exhale, hips back. Kind of move through this at your own pace with your own breath. Inhaling forward, pulling the heart center open, and exhale, pulling back, half split. A vinyasa, we tend to associate it with that chaturanga, up dog, down dog, but vinyasa is really anything where the movement is driven by breath. So here, this is a little vinyasa, moving between half split on our exhale and low lunge on our inhale. Good. So the next time we're in that little lunge towards the front of the mat, tuck those back toes. Press the heel away to lift that leg. Then rotate that right foot down parallel with the back of the mat. Our hands are still kind of framing that left foot. Now I want you to bring that left arm to the left knee and then open this right arm into an extended side angle. So we're kind of building from the ground up here. Make sure that that left knee is stacking right over the left ankle. There should be no weird pressures going on there. And notice how there's one long line, straight edge from my right foot all the way up to my right hand. Everything in line. Yep. So Dave, so stack the shoulders. Bring the right shoulder over the left.
Our chest is supposed to be straight out.
Yep. Imagine yourself between two walls.
Oh.
Perfect. Awesome. So that left elbow can actually rest on the left knee. And that'll bring you a little lower and find even more of a stretch in the right side body. Good. And imagine tucking, so those hips, imagine tucking the pelvis forward to bring those hips right in line between the two legs. Good. Then windmill, this right arm back. Lift the left arm from the leg, warrior two. We're right set up for it, shoulders stacked over the hips. Then straighten into that left leg, give it a break. Peaceful warrior, left arm back, right arm down. Actually, peaceful triangle since our legs are straight. So this time we're stretching from the left foot up to our left fingertips. The right hand is down on the leg. Yeah, there we go. So switch it up. Perfect. From here, bend into that knee as we windmill those arms down. Frame that left foot, tuck those back toes, spin onto the toes. Then I want you to press into the hands, dome through the shoulders, creating that space underneath the chest to tuck the left foot into and reach it back up, three-legged dog. The glute is doing a lot of work here, pulling that left leg back and up. And then let that left foot come down to a down dog. Walk out your dog. Keep the shoulders pressing back. Maybe if you want a little bit of a reprieve before the next side, take the knees down, hips back, child's pose. If you want to keep that heat building, feel free to stay in your down dog for the next 2 to 3 breaths, whatever it is you feel this morning. Again, keep those knees in close to the chest if you do take child's pose to open up that low back. And ripple it forward. Coming back through our cat, tuck the toes, lift the hips back and up, down dog. Shake the head, yes and no. Then inhale that right leg up behind us, left foot, left heel is pulling down with gravity. Keep the hips parallel with the mat. We don't want them to open up to the right side. Then tuck that right knee to the chest, the chin, the nose. Shift the weight into the hands. Tucking that leg as high into the chest as you can. And then inhale left or that right leg back up behind you. Three-legged dog. Tuck the knee to the chest, the chin, the nose. Then inhale back and up. Three-legged dog. Last one. Shift the weight forward, knee to the chest, the chin, the nose, and gently step it through. Low lunge. So the right knee settles over the right ankle. The left toes settle right beneath the left heel. Drop that left knee. Maybe untuck the toes, maybe don't. Totally up to you. And then the hands come to that knee. So again, encouraging those hips forward and down by using the hands on the knee. So notice how I'm kind of gliding forward and down rather than just straight down. Breathe here. We're going to take that same building sequence on this side. Don't think about it too much. Knowing where we're going can sometimes be harder than not knowing where we're going, but just try to stick with that breath as we move. So that left hand sticks to that outer right knee. Then we twist over to the right side, reaching that right hand back. Imagine someone pulling the shoulders straight off to the right side. So that left shoulder pulls to the side as well. Then bring that right hand down. Right hand stays on the leg, left hand pulls back. Twist over to the left side. And pull that left hand down. Inhale, right hand back, left hand lifts. Full T-twist. Let the abdomen do the work here, engaging the ribs. Keep the arms twisting over to the side. Dave, pull that right knee to track right over the right ankle. Perfect. You don't want it to splay in or out. Nice. Bring the left hand down, right hand down, left hand back, right hand forward. T-twist to the left side. Press into that right heel to really fire up the glute to find balance. If you're struggling there, bring the right hand down, left hand down, right hand back, left hand up. Find that peaceful lunge. So that left hand reaches up and overhead, right hand to the leg. Yep, so we're just kind of sweeping that left hand up and back. Maybe we don't find the leg, maybe we find the hip. That's okay. And come back up, T-twist. Let the left hand come down, right hand, left hand twist, right hand twist. Find that left leg with the left hand, reach the right arm back. And come back up. Coming out the way we came, right hand down, left hand down. And then frame that right leg. That's a lot in the hips and the abdomen. Press the hips back towards half split. Give yourself a little break here. Pull those right toes towards the right hip, coming to the heel of that right heel or that right foot. Only as much as you can. If you can't pull the foot all the way up, that's okay, but try to keep those toes, even if you're here, keep those toes activating, pulling back towards the right thigh, the hip. So like we talked about on the other side, make sure that quad is engaged. We're not just pulling passively on the hamstring, thinking about how to do so safely.
I have to say, I don't know how to engage my quad at the same time. It's just all hamstring.
Yeah, it's difficult to do that.
Yeah. Like
Come a little bit out of the stretch.
Okay.
And find engagement in the quad.
All right. I do now, but my feet are down.
Yep. So then come back into the stretch only until you can't activate that quad. You don't want to go beyond that. If you're stretching beyond activation in the quad, it means that you're overstretching. So you should be able to activate in the quad while you're stretching the hamstring. So it may just mean you come out a little bit for right now, but in time you'll realize that as you activate that quad, you can actually go deeper into the stretch than if you were just doing it passively with flexibility. So good question. I'm glad you asked and said something.
It was all hamstring. I'm like, I'm not feeling any quad.
I know. Yeah, we're not feeling a stretch in the quad by any means, but we're feeling it activated.
Yeah.
To that stretch. Cool. So then we're going to bend into that right knee. Coming back to our low lunge and take this little vinyasa between low lunge and half split with your breath. So again, remember vinyasa is anything that moves with the breath driving it. So by inhaling forward, exhaling back, this is by definition a little vinyasa. Maybe pausing somewhere where it feels really, really good. Maybe continuing that steady movement, whatever feels best for you. That next time we find ourselves forward in that low lunge, we're going to tuck the toes, press the heel away, lower the inner sole of that left foot down. So we're twisting that left foot parallel with the back of the mat. And we're creating this extended side angle again from the ground up. So the right elbow comes to stack on the right knee. Then the left hand reaches up and away from the left foot. So it's common to just kind of let this right side go here. I want you to keep activated. So even though we're resting this right arm on the leg, if you lifted it away, it wouldn't be the end of the world. It's just a little bit of support there, a little extra support. So the butt, the hips, imagine pressing them forward to that left side. So they're kind of stacking even more underneath the shoulders in between the legs. Again, as if there's two walls in front of you and behind you and you're right in the middle. And pull this left arm back, right arm up, straighten into the right leg, peaceful triangle, left hand down, right hand up and back, stretch away from that right foot. And as we bend into that right knee, arms windmill down, come down, left foot spins out to the toes, left heel up, hands down, press into the hands, tuck the shoulders or the knee into the chest, the shoulders pressing away, and the right leg moves back and up, and down, down dog. Find your breath. Bend into one knee and then the other. And we're actually going to take that flow one more time on each side, but very, very connected with the breath. So one breath, one movement. So we're not going to hold as long as in anything that we did. So right from here, we're going to inhale that left leg up behind us, three-legged dog. Then exhale, pull that knee into the chest. Gently step it through. Low lunge, drop the knee. Inhale, hands come to the knees. Exhale, release into your low lunge. Then twist left hand back, inhale. Exhale, bring it back. Inhale, right arm back. Exhale, bring it back. Inhale, left arm back. Right arm up. Exhale, both hands come down. Inhale, right arm back, left arm forward. Exhale, back. This time, left arm back, right arm reaches up and over on our inhale. And exhale, come back, out the way we came. Inhale, right arm back, left arm forward, sweep the arms up and over on our inhale. And exhale. Come through the way we came. Then drop the hands to frame that foot. Tuck the hips back towards the heels. Inhale to bend into that left leg. Press the heel away to lift the knee. Spin that right foot down. Left arm comes to the left knee. Right arm reaches up and overhead on our inhale. Exhale, release here for a moment. Then inhale, windmill up, warrior two. Exhale, straighten into that left leg. Windmill arms back and up. So the right arm comes to the right leg, left arm comes up and over. And then as we exhale, windmill, frame that left foot, tuck the hands into the mat, left foot tucks to the chest, and inhale back and up, three-legged dog, and down, two down dog. So we're gonna take the other side, one breath, one movement, we're almost there. Right leg up, inhale, exhale, knee to nose, tuck it through, low lunge. Inhale, lower that knee, hands come up. Exhale, settle into that lunge. Inhale, right arm back. Exhale, right arm down. Inhale, left arm back. Exhale, left arm down. Inhale, right arm back, left arm up. Exhale, bring them down. Inhale, left arm, right arm twisting over to the left side. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, right arm back, left arm sweeps up and over. Reach back, and then on our exhale, bring the left hand down, right arm up and back. Left, inhale. Right arm sweeps up and over. Or inhale and exhale. Pull it forward, down. Frame that right foot and reach those hips back towards the heel. On our inhale, pull the right knee forward again, bend into that knee, tuck the back toes, press the heel away, rotate that left foot down to the edge of the mat. And then the right elbow comes to the right leg, tuck those hips under, inhale, left arm reaches up, extended side angle. Exhale a little bit into this, maybe going a little deeper, then inhale, pull those shoulders, step over the hips. Then exhale, straighten into the right leg, extend the right arm back, left hand down to the leg, and then exhale, bend into that right knee, windmill the arms down to frame that right foot, press into the shoulders, press into the hands, tuck that right leg to the chest, inhale back and up, three-legged dog, and exhale, down dog. Take those knees down to the mat. Exhale, hips back towards the heels. That was a lot of movement. Notice how once we settle here in child's pose, we weren't running, we weren't walking, we weren't doing what we would normally say is cardio. But by linking one breath to one movement, we got some heat going. We got the heart rate up. We don't have to go far to find that activation in our body. We just have to set our minds to it. So here in child's pose, every inhale, find a little bit more space. Every exhale, this time let some heat go, some rhythm go from the heart rate, and everything settle back down. From our child's pose, I want you to slither forward onto your tummy. So keeping that chest down, hips up, then just kind of let those legs come out long. Might not be graceful, that's okay. The goal is to get to our tummy. The fingertips or the fingers can interlace and create a little pillow for our forehead. Let the forehead come down to the hands. Flat on our belly. Maybe shake those hips left and right to make sure that everything is super solid and on the mat. Then bend at the knees so the feet come up towards the sky. Want to wag those legs left and right. This is a great releaser for that low back. Try to keep the hips loose. So don't feel like you have to keep them on the mat. Just swaying left and right. Sway for a couple more breaths. And let the legs come down long on our mat. Acknowledge the stillness. Remind yourself you're here, you're inhaling, you're exhaling. Try to stay present for the last few moments of our practice. We'll press those hands beneath the shoulders, press the body back, hips towards the heels. Just kind of scoop those legs out to the side and take ourselves to our hips, our butt. Rock all the way down to a flat back. Chin to the chest as we rock. And when you're ready, come all the way down. Feet are going to come flat to the mat, knees are bent up. We're going to take that same swaying idea, but this time with the knees bent up, feet down. So notice if this is a little different. They're both releases for the low back. They might feel different depending on your body. Next time those knees are through center, keep them there. Slow the movement. And then either take the soles of the feet together, knees splayed out into Supta Baddha Konasana, or take the knees long and flat on the mat into our Shavasana. Totally up to you. I've been really enjoying Supta Baddha Konasana recently. It feels really good in my hips. It might not feel good in yours, that's okay. So take either Shavasana or Supta Baddha Konasana, whatever you choose. Wherever you come, hands rest where comfortable, either on your tummy or on the sides, palms face up. I often get caught up in this idea of thinking that the next best thing is out there, the next best type of exercising, the next best type of whatever it might be. I want you to remember that this morning, this movement that we just created, this activation, this heat, this rhythm in your heart, it came from you, yourself, and you. There were no dumbbells, there were no videotapes, there were no medicine balls, anything like that. There's a time and a place for those things, and of course inspiration from those things is great. But it's also great to remember that everything you need is within. You have what it takes to get your heart rate up, to feel that sweat, that heat, to move your body. There's no one who can decide to do that for you except for you. So remember that. Remember the power that you have. And on the days when you're just feeling like, oh, I need to move my body, but I don't know how to. Remember that you do know how to. You just need to tap into that. Start to tuck those knees up and over to the side. The right side if you want more relaxation, left side if you want more energy, vibrance. Take whatever side feels best for you. Coming into our fetal. And then slowly we'll press that top hand into the mat. Come to our easy seat where we started. Hips grounded, shoulders stacked, hands on the lap or the knees. I want you to close your eyes. Thank yourself for being here this morning. Thank yourself for taking time to take care of yourself. Remember, this practice isn't just on the mat. It takes us further and beyond, and eventually spreads into our life as well. So hope that something this morning, something we either talked about or touched on, is something that you can take into your life over the weekend, this week, whatever it might be. We'll reach those hands out and up on our inhale, prayer hands overhead. Exhale, bring those prayer hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra. Feel the thumbs brush against the heart center. Let that be the reminder that this practice goes with you wherever you go. We'll finish this morning with one communal breath. Exhale out any stale energy. Push it out. Get rid of all of that used leftover stuff. Then inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me this morning.
Namaste.